So, can I also have review of the minutes from the council meeting, May 2nd? Or May 2nd?
This is all the way back there.
And so I didn't see anything. I saw where you'd sent them and then corrected something. So I'll take any additions or corrections and a common consent from everybody. Everybody good with it?
Yep.
All right. Okay, let's see. Persons before council, we have Scott here. He's here for the Berkeley Springs Pride request for the parking meter reservation. Scott, do you want to say anything to the council? I mean, I know that you had talked to us here a little bit that you were just going to use that, the south side of Fairfax Street, so we wouldn't have to shut down the street.
No, we're not. All we're going to use is this parking meters along Fairfax and Washington, and then once the food truck's in place, the other ones we open back up because we want people to be able to park downtown because of any issues. And then it goes from 10 o'clock to like 5 o'clock.
That's what I understood, and that's
Right.
why I.
So it will just,
I don't think that we had any problem then.
No. we just go ahead and, let's make a motion.
I make a motion that the council approve the request to make available the parking meters, to reserve the meters on the south side of Fairfax and along Washington on the, what's the date?
24th of June.
On the 24th of June.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Do we have any more discussion? If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. So you got her.
All success.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
have a good time.
all right. Thank you, Scott.
Yes.
Communications from Mayor. The food truck festival seemed to go really well. I didn't get a chance to stop down because I was involved in my other job. But everybody I talked to said that it was packed.
It was
I-
packed.
I-
Lines.
I had
waiting
people
for food
coming
till
from
they ran out of food.
Winchester and they
Yeah.
said, what in the heck is going on in Berkeley Springs downtown? And I said, food truck festival. If you're hungry, go get food. But I understand some people stood in line over an hour or so to get food. So
There are things to be learned.
I think it was a success, and I think once they kind of tweak things a little bit, I think it'll even be better as they go along.
Yeah.
So brought a lot of people to town.
People weren't complaining when I was in line for food about standing there. They were just talking to everybody that was coming through.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
whole
you're right.
thing.
You're right.
Yeah,
There's nobody
people
with an
from-
attitude.
Nobody was complaining.
Yeah.
Nobody had an attitude. I mean,
Yep, I think it worked out very well.
Yeah.
I didn't have any complaints about that end of it. There was other complaints, but it's.
Mr. Mayor, one comment.
Yes.
One thing, I got there, at 3. I got there early, so I ate, right? First food truck ran out of food at 5:30, so 2.5 hours into it, they were out. So that tells you. But the thing that took me most was how many families were there. That was the big seller for me. It wasn't a tourist thing. It was at 3:30. Mom and dad parking, walking in with 2, 3, however many kids and going around. It was a really good event for the
whole
people
family.
of the town, not like we see a lot of time bringing people in. So I think a lot of people appreciated that. So I don't know if everybody caught that piece.
Yeah.
It had to feel like the 4th of July fireworks and the things that we do for local people that they
Right.
enjoy and bring their
I
kids
had
to.
the
and
two
like that.
young ladies that manned the teller station up at Citizens. I came in on the following Monday and they said, hey, we just loved it. When's it going to happen again? I said, they'll be back. I don't know when, but they're probably starting to plan another one. So they said we walked out of here when we closed up and went right across the street, got food.
so did
So,
a lot of people at the courtface.
yeah, so it turned out real well. So I was tickled to death with it. The plant fair, of course, it rained last week. Seemed to me there was a lot of people there, even in the rain. I went by 5 or 6 different times, and there was a lot of people there. I had a guy pull in. I'd gone up to get a cup of coffee at Roy's, and that guy pulled in. He says, "Anywhere around this town you could buy flowers?" And I said, "Yeah, right up in the park." I said, I don't know where I said, you can't miss it. I said, come out here, turn and go right. And I said, it's about a block and a half. And I said, there's plants everywhere. So, and I said, I pulled out with my coffee and I come up the street. He was parked there along the roadway, in one of the parking spaces. So anyway, I think that turned out really good. So anyway, we do have the 20th and 21st. We have the bringing in the May Berry Fest that you got in your packet. That is May 20 and 21st down at the park. You can read all what's going on there. Hopefully this is what, their third? Is this their third
Yes.
or fourth? So it's evidently been doing really well because this is their third one coming up. So anyway, and then we have the Trail Depot, almost the train depot, but the Trail Depot, they've got their grand opening on the 28th from 11 to 6, and it's down there across from our train depot. I talked to those people down there the other day, and they said they have just been struck with cardboard boxes. It's everywhere. They said it's just
I was in there today. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
stacked.
They're trying to get everything set up, ready to go, but they're going to have a grand opening 28th from 11 to 6.
I want to tell you something. I was at the depot today, which I'll talk to you about in a little bit. But there was a gentleman roaming around in the parking lot looking at the depot. And so I called him over and I said, you want to see the depot? Brought him in, talked to him about it. And I said, what are you doing like this? Well, I'm a mountain biker and there's going to be competition at Capon State Park this weekend. So I wanted to look over the county and get a little bit of a lay of the land and like that. And I said, oh, you're a mountain biker. We'll talk a little bit more. And I said, well, so you're competing. I said, have you ever won anything? And he said, well, I was the West Virginia champion mountain biker for 2 years. And I said, and I took him across the street to these guys and say, here's your highlight for your grand opening right here. His name's Jonathan Martin. Very nice young man. And so that's the kind of folks we're going to get.
Well,
in there.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So that end of town is really going to start flowing. I see it coming. Once they open up, we do the dedication for the train depot, and we start getting the rest of it down there. I think it'll be good. But anyway, moving along, we also, I have to do my little happy dance, paving North Wilk Street. This Friday, starting at 6 o'clock. They're going to be starting, I don't know what end they're going to start on, whether they're starting at this end or up there at the top. They're going to go all the way to Legion. So the barrier up there, they're going all the way to where the barrier is, right by where Larry lives up there. And he will not get the blacktop, but he'll still have concrete, but that little part's still good. So.
And your neighbors are straightening up things.
They are.
I mean,
So,
people are responding and it's not even paved. It is, I'm going to take a couple minutes and just tell you how we got here to this place. When the state put in 522, they gave Wilk Street to the city of Berkeley Springs, which doesn't exist. So I came in as mayor, and in the year 2000, we got a notification from the state of West Virginia that the town had to fix the Fairfax Bridge. It was in bad disrepair and unsafe. And I said, we can't do that. We don't have the money to do that. So I went to Delegate Trump at the time and I said, Charles, will you get the state to take this over? And while they're doing that, will they take over Wilk Street? I was fine with that. It was the town's. And he worked on it and they took over the bridge, and Governor Cecil Underwood took over the maintenance of Wilk Street. So from that point on, we kept picking away about getting paved. In Streetscape, we were able to talk to them and say, this is a way to your state park. It looks like crap. Please pave it. And they finally paved that.
Showed up after we didn't even know.
I know. And, so it just has been this labor that,
Well, that's why I originally got on council to get it paved.
yeah, and then we, a year and a half ago, I ran Hudson down here, we got the estimate, I took the video, remember the video that we took a video of it, packed it up with Daryl Coles, sent it to not Washington, Charleston. And it didn't go much, but you know, I guess big wheels were starting to roll though, because then this year when I went to Charleston to the DOH, talked about it and came home and wrote a complaint. 3 days later, here's a call. It's kind of, you know, you're on the schedule. I said, what? And he said, well, we're answering your complaint, ma'am. And I go, what? What? Okay. I was afraid to ask anything more. But it's proof you gotta stick with things that you know you need. You have to stick with it and you have to keep paying.
Remember, we all voted to write a letter once a
Yeah.
month. We were doing that. We did that for a year. We wrote a letter, you know, so, I will believe it when I see those trucks up there and the first little bit of blacktop goes down.
It's going down.
And, I'm just saying, I will believe it when that happens,
And
so.
we're hoping that DOH will do the same once we do our parts of Green and Mercer.
Yeah.
I'm not holding out for that, but maybe.
Write a complaint.
Right.
Let's get our part done first.
Start gripping.
Yeah.
And the way that they put this in the work order to complete the whole road
Uh-huh.
is that, you know, we had done the whole thing of Kent Street.
Mhm.
They knew that. We did their half and they planned to do it anyway. It was just work orders
We
they
made
got.
all those
Yeah.
connectors
Right.
decent,
Yeah.
and
So-
so, you know.
So, hopefully Friday,
I was
six
just gonna say,
thirty.
hopefully
Yeah, I'm gonna
in the
be out
morning,
at
in the morning.
6:30 in the morning and I'm gonna be clapping as they put that first piece down. So,
what, 7 at night? But they should be done by
well,
7.
they should be done. I would say by 5 o'clock they should have it ready. Yeah, they should be fine.
Anyway.
So anyway, let's move on.
Yay.
So, Bath Development, their next meeting is the 7th of June, 4:30 at the courthouse.
Speaking of which, I've offered, you know, just being excited about Wilk Street and all, I think that we should plan, and maybe this group can help us, have a block party on Wilk Street after it's paved and nice. And I've talked to the church people and just put the idea in their head, because we did it once before, we had
Right.
a little party there. But we should have something for the residents there.
So,
Anyway,
Good idea.
yeah.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, Parks and Recs, nobody. Rails and Trails.
Planning Commission.
Oh my gosh,
Look at you
I
jumping
heard
again.
that.
Don't dare.
So, planning meeting, we did not have a working group yesterday because I was getting recertified as a water safety instructor, so I can teach swim lessons to our citizens this summer. And yes, I passed. And we're going to continue on with the regular meeting on the 1st in our working groups. And now for something totally different. Just late last night, the church got a response from the bank. The initial looks positive, but they're going to take it to the board in the middle of June. So I'll just do just like this. I'll continue to keep you guys up to date until we need to get it on the agenda and push it forward from there.
Okay.
So thank you.
Sounds good. Sorry, I skipped Planning Commission, so thank you.
We're used to that now. You
Hey,
got mine too.
you know, come on now. I just got too many stuff in fires and, you know, just like trying to put out. So, all right, Rails and Trails. He's not here. I think there's some
He
stuff.
sent,
Yeah, we've got our what he's got going on here. So, Streetscapes is the same thing. They've got it here. So, Train Depot.
I did meet today at the depot with the president of our Historic Landmark Commission and John Mason and John Bohr, who is the president of the Morgan County Historic and Genealogical Society, to talk to them about future plans and ideas and helping with an opening ceremony, because they are the leaders of the groups that are history based in our community. Got a lot of good ideas, and we're going to keep meeting and reaching out in the community for things to put in the depot also. Right now, it's beautiful, but it's a big echo when you walk in. So we need to have storyboards, we need to have things. We need to have the sign, the ticket sign that showed up. Need to have things like that to point out to people, otherwise it's a big empty building.
Right.
You know, you've been.
Right, absolutely.
So,
I mean, it's a
they're gonna
beautiful
help
place now.
Work on that, and I think Zach Salmon has access to pictures of the entire neighborhood, the different buildings that could be, put on the walls. But there's a lot to do to make it of interest inside. It's cool the way it is, but people go, so we need to do things inside. So that's what we were talking about, and we're gonna keep talking.
Okay. All right, Landmarks Commission, he isn't here this evening. Their next meeting is,
It's not till August because they
August.
wanted to,
Okay,
wanted Zach to be able to.
August the
participate.
4th, at 2 PM. Okay, clerk and recorders report, Madam Clerk.
In your packet, you have a budget that is for the internal reconciliation. It's just moving funds from one line item to another. That just needs the council's approval for me to make those changes. And then we have resolution 230501 that I do need everybody to vote on for me. That's just moving some money from the revenue accounts.
Sharon, looking at this, should these be 5/16/22
And no, there should be 23.
all the way down? Okay,
Yes,
that's what I thought.
please.
We're not that late.
No, it's just been a busy day.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right, well, we
Resolution.
need to have a,
I make a motion that we approve the budget revisions that are being made within departments as presented.
have a second.
Second,
I have a motion and a second to do the internal changes in our budget. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then this other one, we have to have a resolution also.
Yes.
So it's resolution 2023-0501, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have to vote on that. I guess we have to make a motion and then.
Yeah, and then I can just mark whether everybody says
Alright.
yes or no.
I will
together.
entertain a motion on this resolution 2023-0501.
so moved.
Do I have a second? All right.
Yeah.
Have a motion and a second for the resolution 2021-0501 to take, we're taking money from our,
Well, we actually increased the business and occupational tax from what I had budgeted, which was 46,000. We increased that by an additional 15,000, and then all that offsets some of the expenses.
okay, all right. Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Do you want me to just pass this, but you?
No, I've got it. I'm just
Good
mark
deal.
everybody but Greg. Thank
Good
you.
deal.
Do you sign it or you go?
I will sign the original, yeah, and send it in with the supporting documentation. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Recorder, do you have anything?
So
Okay.
The only thing for the election, just a reminder, if you did want to vote in the Town of Bath election, you have to be registered by the 17th tomorrow with the courthouse to vote. And the training will be next week on the 25th. I don't have a time yet, but that will be narrowed down for the poll workers.
I have a question. If I'm registered to vote over there already, does that include the town?
over where?
Over at the courthouse?
courthouse.
Yes.
Not necessarily unless you're in precinct 7.
She is. She just
Town
moved
is-
into town, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as long as you're
Yes.
registered and have you voted over there before?
She just moved here.
Okay,
So
so
I've
you,
been here for almost 2 years.
okay, but you registered down at the courthouse
Yes,
to
I
vote?
did.
And you told them you were,
Okay.
okay. And they put you in look at your card and see if it's
Yeah,
precinct
because I
7.
called to to verify that I was registered, and they did tell me I was in precinct 7.
Okay.
I was just curious if there had to be anything different because of
No.
this town. but
As long as you're registered
Okay,
at the courthouse and you're registered as a town resident.
Cool. Okay. Welcome to town.
Okay, let's move on to finance then. Let's pay some bills.
Okay, town of Bath, expenditures for this quarter include $19,865.09. Make a motion that we go ahead and pay those bills on behalf of the town of Bath.
A second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the town of Bath bills, amount of $19,865.09. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
Okay. Archie Springs Waterworks bills for this term, $59,180.42. I make a motion to go ahead and pay those on behalf of the water department.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $59,180.42. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Okay, for Greenway Cemetery. For this term, $4,244.99. I make a motion that we go ahead and pay those bills on behalf of Greenway Cemetery.
A second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $4,244.99. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
And last for this time is for the train depot, for construction administration, in the amount of $272.92. Make a motion that we go ahead and pay those on behalf of the train depot.
A second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the train depot bills in the amount of $272.92. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. All right. Tree board?
Tree board meets tomorrow.
Yep.
The tree board would like to thank everybody that participated in the mulching project last weekend. Also, thank you to the town crew that assisted greatly and worked despite the fact that it rained. So that work's done for the year. And we meet again tomorrow.
Okay, good. Grant, Greg's not here. So, public safety.
We had a meeting this evening. The chief informed us he sold the cruiser, we were all excited about and got it out of the road. And we have 3 applications for administrative assistant, and we'll be doing the interviews next Thursday for that position.
This is 2008,
12.
12, okay.
Chief, what do you have?
I don't have anything this time.
All right. Everybody, you got everything? That's it?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, let's move on to cemetery then.
You probably saw among, excuse me, piece materials that the cemetery had an ad in the Morgan Messenger for 2 weeks looking for bids on restoration repairs to the mausoleum. Those will be opened on June 4th, I believe it is. Before that, on May 24th, there's an opportunity for contractors to come and see the mausoleum, ask questions.
Pre-construction.
Yeah, is that what it's called, reconstruction? Pre-construction event where they can come out and see the structure, ask questions, even poke around on some of the things that need to be repaired. So that is moving forward. We are praying that our bid comes in under, or at or below what our budget is, because of the experience with the Park Foundation. We're a little concerned, but we are hoping for the best. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Beth. Public Works.
Nothing major at this point. I will have Rodney come up and look at your truck up at the cemetery. See what
Okay.
you can do. And Scott, you might want to do that too. They have an
Which
old,
truck?
There's a
The
truck
old
in the
dump?
shed, yeah, well, according to JR, the truck has problems with the brakes, but otherwise it works. And it should be usable, but it's not usable in the cemetery because it's too hilly and
Yeah.
supposedly the company worked on it the year it was bought 5 times to deal with the brakes,
Yes.
which did not solve the problem. They said it could be used in an area less hilly and it should be fine, or the brakes could be replaced or whatever for another working situation. So, he suggested we have it looked at and see if somebody could use it rather than just dumping it. So that's, if you can look at it and Rodney can look at it, we'll
Yeah,
go
we'll
from
go,
there.
we'll both go up and look
see
at it.
what you think. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's the old dump that the water department had, and they had,
Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
that's the one they had all those brake problems. And they gave that to the cemetery.
The
users.
little dump.
No, well, it's a little
Isn't it
dump,
just a truck?
but I don't know if it's a truck. I thought it was the dump.
It's smaller dump.
Oh, well, I thought he said truck. I
Well, we'll look at
haven't
it.
looked at it for so long
Yeah,
that
we'll look
I
at
don't
it and see.
remember.
If
Okay.
it's the one I remember, it was the one that the water department had, and the brakes always
Mhm.
faded on it, and they couldn't.
Okay.
Well, maybe the chief can put it on. He just sold that car on a government
that's right. Chief,
website.
auction it off for a good price.
Maybe he
Yeah.
can
Let us take a look at it.
Yeah.
We'll see what's up, and we'll go from there.
He can get it on
Thank
the
you very
auction.
much. I appreciate that.
Hey, not a problem. Not a
Other than
problem.
that,
at all.
public works is, we're good.
Good deal. All right. Ordinance. We gonna be able to do that on the 6th, or you?
No, I won't be here on the 6th, so
Okay.
unless you and Rose have something to meet for.
Okay, we'll
Uh,
go
the-
postpone that meeting then, and, but I'd like to, by the end of June, be able to get
Policy
the
maybe.
policy so we can.
Do you know where that is with Dick?
No, I know that he was going to make several changes to it, so.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Well, then we'll wait on Dick then.
But I figured.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
All right,
Waterworks.
Waterworks, 2 things, we'll be doing the paving work on Cornelius on May 22nd, is my understanding. So that's coming, and that will, do that, lay that over and make that nice from the water replacement project work that was done up there. And that work is, by the end of this month, should be substantially done, and then the final completion is supposed to be June 28th, I think is the date, or the 27th. I can let you know if you need the exact date. But,
Okay. Well,
I think it's the 27th.
It's the 20, as I
Yeah,
recall. from
I think because
last minute.
February 27th was when the last one ended,
Yeah.
and the extension goes from there. So I think it's the 27th.
You know how Cornelius, the last time Cornelius was paved, you know how it got paved and it wasn't paved before? You want that story? It's not a big one. We had a flood in 96. We had a flood in 96 and then one in January of 97. So we're, freaking out. We got a big fat mess here, shoveling mud and all that. And so FEMA came in and FEMA said, well, that road can't be like that because it goes right down into your water source. And FEMA paved Cornelius. That's how it got paved for us. So
Well,
there's that
you might want
story.
to have a party on
Want any other
Cornelius.
story?
then.
Yeah, we got a block party there.
Right, right.
There's not very many houses.
Well, we're gonna have all sorts of block parties. Okay.
And then the next water committee meeting is Monday, June 19th. We moved it for June, so 4:30. So that's all.
All right.
Good deal. All right, we've come to the end of our agenda. This is one time where I open it up to anybody that is signed up to talk. Got 3 minutes, so I don't know if anybody out there needs to speak to council or not.
They look pretty quiet.
Yeah, everybody's quiet. Well, this is an
Dang that
awesome
thing.
meeting. Awesome meeting. I will entertain a common consent to adjourn.
Okay.
Everybody good? All right.